But there's been a way for the public to share in corporate success for more than a century. A dividend. Literally, dividing the profits. Here's how it works. You find a company that offers dividends. Then you buy their stock. And wait. Usually, each quarter, the company pays out a small part of its profit to shareholders, something like 10 cents a share. It doesn't sound like much, but over time, that money can really add up. As long as you own the stock, you'll get paid. Just like in Monopoly.
The cheat code to the stock market, ladies and gentlemen, compound interest via dividend stocks. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys some of my favorite dividend stocks, some that pay you monthly, some that pay you weekly, but most of them pay quarterly. And what I look for when I'm picking a dividend stock, as you've already seen a little bit about them in the opening video we just did to start. If you're finding me for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so when I drop videos, you get them. Communicate with me. Join me on Instagram. DM me when you find good stock picks, when you find news about something that could affect the stock, and let's get these life gains together. Just watch the rest of this video, and then I'll come back and give you guys some of my favorites and what I look for when I'm picking a dividend stock.
Early in the 20th century, big, quintessential American companies were paying significant dividends. If you bought AT&T stock just after Christmas in 2003, around $25 a share, the dividend payments that you get every quarter would have added up to about $25 by 2019. The stock essentially pays for itself in just over 15 years, whether the price goes up or down, and you still own the stock. Over the years, dividends have made up a good portion of overall returns in the stock market. Actually, not just a good portion. Since 1926, about 40% of total returns have come from dividends. As recently as the 1970s and 80s, you could get 4% return every year on dividends. Traditionally, it's big, mature companies with stable businesses that participate in this type of profit sharing. Once a company pays out a dividend, it can be hard to go back without the market punishing it by pushing the stock down. Of course, dividend yield fluctuates with the price of a stock. As long as the company keeps paying out the dividend, if the price of the stock goes down, the yield on the dividend goes up. That can be a sign of a bargain, as long as the company is not in big trouble. But sometimes a dividend yield that's too high is a red flag. As of the beginning of 2019, some of the major companies with the best yielding dividends included CenturyLink, Ford, L Brands, and yes, AT&T. Still, after all of these years. So will we see a resurgence of dividends in upcoming years? It's unclear. 2018 saw the 9th straight year of more dollars being paid out as dividends, according to S&P Global's Silverblatt. If your investment goals align with a little less risk and stable earnings, dividend stocks may be for you. Especially in times of volatility, you can still make some income, even if the stock falls.
When I'm picking dividend stocks, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw in this video, sometimes if you see a stock that has a crazy high dividend payout, and I like to say 7% or more, you need to really evaluate why that company is paying that much in dividends. Typical good quality dividend stocks are only going to pay you a range up to about 6%. Now, what I look for in dividend stocks is, number one, I like to also see that the stock itself is growing. Number two, I like to see that the dividend itself has been growing over time. And then number three, I like to make sure that those dividends have been paid out for a number of years. So I'm talking at least 5 years or better without an interruption in paying dividends. So now let's jump on my Robinhood account and show you a few that I love and the different times they pay and how I look for what I just broke down for you guys. So we're in my Robinhood account, and as I scroll down my sidebar right here where all my stocks are, I have a whole lot of stocks that pay dividend. I'm going to say Nvidia pays, but they pay a very, very minuscule amount. But SPHD, this is one of my favorites because the stock pays monthly. And the stock has been paying monthly pretty much since its inception. They're paying about 5% on their stock, but in the last 5 years, ladies and gentlemen, you've had a little bit of stock growth. It's only been $5, but that's better than what you're going to get with some stocks. And in the last year, they paid $9. The last 3 months, they've had a decline. But however, ladies and gentlemen, you want to see a steady increase in the stock itself as well as the dividend. Now, for your more, and the reason why I like SPHD is because it's an ETF. Anyone that knows me and knows the way I like to tell people how to invest, I'm really big on you investing. When you first start investing, invest in ETFs and index funds. And I'll do a whole video on the definitions of ETFs, index funds, and mutual funds. But I'd like for you to start your foundation. I'd like for you to build your house on a solid foundation of ETFs and dividend stocks. Then start picking individual stocks to try to grow your portfolio and even do options. Another one that's battle tested is Target. Ladies and gentlemen, get up on that Target. They pay quarterly, and as you can see as I'm scrolling, my next dividend payment is going to be $27, and I've only got 30 shares of Target. But the first thing I checked, how has the stock itself been growing? And in the last 5 years, Target has seen a 244% increase in the stock. They pay a dividend yield of 1.2%. And it's just one you've got to have in your portfolio because you're going to make money quarterly and the stock continues to grow. Next on this list, I got an energy play. Brookfield Renewable Class A. I like this one because they're not traditional oil. They are wind, solar, and they have electromagnetic and water. And in the last 5 years, when they started this stock they did a stock split in August 20th, but since then you've seen the stock has had a growth of 17%. And if you come down here and you take a good look at what they're paying you almost 3%. So put that one in your portfolio if you want to make an energy play. Next on my list of stocks I think you guys should have for dividends, you've got the classics, Verizon and Coca-Cola. Now let's take a look at them. So with Verizon, they've had a little increase over the last 5 years, but we know they're doing big things in the 5G network. So that's another reason you're going to want to have them because the stock will continue to grow. And they're paying almost 5% return on your money. You just got to have them in your account as well. And I would even say this to people who have a lot of money in their savings account and only earning like 0.5%. Put your money in one of these great dividend stocks or spread them out across dividend stocks because you're going to get paid more than what you're getting paid currently in your savings account. Now let's scroll down here and take a look at one of Warren Buffett's favorite, Coca-Cola. Last 5 years, Coca-Cola has returned 29%. Coca-Cola is paying almost a 3% dividend and they pay quarterly. Another good one to have in your portfolio. Let's scroll down here some more. Now here's some of the ones that deal with real estate, and I've got another one with energy. Medical Properties Trust. Let's take a look at the 5-year history. 41% return on your money, not a very expensive stock. And then they pay a 5% dividend yield. That is the best of both worlds right here. This is a prime example of the best of both worlds. Great stock growth over 5 years, and they pay a high dividend percentage, and they've been paying ever since its inception in 2003. But check this out. They pay quarterly. So this is another one you want to throw into your bag. Now for ones that pay, let me see here. Ones that pay weekly, I've got this one down here. I've got the SoFi Weekly Dividend ETF. This one pays you weekly, ladies and gentlemen. It pays weekly. And when you scroll down here and they give you some of the information, they don't particularly tell you how much it pays, but I can pretty much tell you what it pays because I've had it for a couple of months now. So for every 10 shares of stock, you're going to get 10 cents a week. You can do the math on that yourself. But every 10 shares you currently have at $50, they're going to pay you 10 cents a week. Some other good names is Realty Income. Let me pull that one up for you. Realty Income is another one that pays monthly. And people have been up on this one for a long time. In the last 5 years, you've gotten the average the stock market does of 8%. It pays you back 3% dividend on your stocks. So I'm real big on this one. And another one that pays you weekly, ladies and gentlemen, is the SoFi Weekly Income ETF. It was put in place specifically to pay you guys weekly, and they don't list it on Robinhood, but right now they're paying about 3% on that. And since they've been around, the stock has had very, very small growth. But like I said earlier in the video, ladies and gentlemen, most dividend stocks are not going to return you really a whole lot of stock growth. It's up to you to kind of dig and fish for the stocks that are going to produce massively along with stock growth and also with the dividend growth and maintaining a good dividend payout. But I want you guys to leave me all your comments. Which stocks have you guys been using for dividends? What has helped you with the cheat code? Because one thing that dividends do for you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the very definition of compound interest and compounding your money over years. I would suggest that if the stock allows for it, especially on Robinhood, you turn on Dividend Reinvestment. And basically what that does for you is every time the company pays you a dividend, it just gets reinvested back into the company. And that is how you compound your money over the years. And then you just set a date and get ready to retire and do what you want to do. And what do we call that on this channel? Them life gains. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video. Please comment, subscribe. Go get yourself that life gain. Be sure to let me know what you guys are doing in your portfolios for stocks and dividends. And until that next sexy as hell video, I'll see you.